for.
All right, so thank you, Ya, for coming on Love Talk today. We're going to be discussing Yes You Can.
Hmm.
Before we get into the next level coaching, please let everybody know who you are, your name, and a synopsis of what you do at Next Level Coaching.
Sure. So my name's Yar. I am the Meant for More mindset coach, and as a peak performance coach and a lifestyle architect, what I do is I work with professional women to help them uncover their purpose, reclaim their power, and reach their potential so they can live the very best lives with clarity and purpose. I created Next Level Coaching because I know that from working with women for over 10 years, that the number one thing that holds them back is and they're really having the happiness that they want to have in their lives, the happiness they deserve is their mindset. So, because I know that once you change your mind, you change your life. So that's why I created it, because I was once that woman who didn't know and didn't think I could, and now I know I can. So,
So what was it that you didn't know that you can do and that you are now doing?
I think for me, really, it was just self-belief. So I didn't believe in myself enough, and so I always looked for what other people were doing, sought validation from others instead of really working out what I needed to do for Yar to be the best Yar that Yar could be, because there's only one Yar. So that was, yeah, so that's it really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the subject of Yes You Can,
Hmm.
um, I know we spoke before and I gave the example that I am quite self-motivated. And I remember a time when I used to have to catch the 2:20 to Hammersmith College.
Hmm.
And most mornings I saw one particular person always get off the bus at the same stop and enter the building. And I decided in my head, I said, oh, I would like to work there one day. I wonder what it's like to work there.
Hmm.
And about 5 years later, I was offered a position in that exact same building. Um, so that's my motivational speech. That's what I use as my catalyst as well. I remember where I come from. I count my blessings.
Yeah.
Um, is there any examples what you can give of how they can overcome hurdles, any hurdles that they think?
Um, I think so basically I think there's five areas mainly that really stop us from believing that we can't do something. So the first one really is just not thinking that we're hi B. Um, uh, is that we don't think that we're good enough. So because we don't think that we're good enough, it stops us from doing everything that we're supposed to do. Oh, Esther's on here too. Hi, Esther. Um, and also I think another big thing is that we're scared of getting things wrong. So because we're scared of getting things wrong, we won't even try to begin with, because we don't want to be seen as wrong, because as as young people we were told that you can't be wrong. So that's the thing, that's one thing that holds us back. Another thing is that we feel that we need to fit in, and that really holds us back. So things like peer pressure and doing what everybody else is doing, trying to keep up with everybody else, thinking that everybody else knows it when everybody else really doesn't. And then a really, really big one is a lack of self-worth and self-belief. So we don't believe in ourselves. And because we don't believe in ourselves, we stay in a place of, oh, I'm never going to try that. I can't do that, because we just don't believe that we can. And then a really, really big one that a lot of people undermined, hi Quabs, is that we don't feel that we don't have a good support network. And because we don't have a good support network, so we surround ourselves with people that don't build us up. So what they do is they make us feel that we have to be like them. So it's almost like that crabs in the barrel mentality. So once we're able to switch from that kind of mindset into a mindset, because mindset creates a sense of lack. And so we're always thinking about what we don't have instead of what we do have. So that is also known as a poverty mindset. So what we want to do is we want to move into an abundance mindset. And with an abundance mindset, we allow ourselves to choose to believe in our fears or doubts. So it's not that they don't exist, but we decide what we're going to do with them. So it's kind of like, it's when people say being fearless, it's not being without fear, it's just fearing things less. And then that allows us then to believe in ourselves, and then also allows us to invest in a supportive network of people. So by invest, I mean, yes, your friends and your family, but also going to events, having coaches, having mentors, whatever you need to do to build yourself up, and surround yourself with people that can, because a rising tide lifts all ships, one, but also if somebody it has a better opportunity to be able to lift you up if they're already in a position where they can, as opposed to being at the same level that you're at. So surrounding yourselves with people that actually are able to lift you and push you to your next level. So that's what I think.
I hear a lot of that recently. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with people that want the best for you. I would imagine that if somebody is quite fearful and not in that abundance mindset as yet, it will be quite difficult for them to identify those individuals. So regarding your training, when does it become, is it like getting yourself into the mindset first and then allowing those people to come into your circle?
I think it's both, but it's definitely, you have to, because what happens is those people are probably always around you. You just didn't recognize them because the mindset wasn't there. But once you're in the mindset, you're able to recognize certain people. So I would say it probably is the mindset, because the mindset heightens your awareness to the fact that those people are around, and also you become more likely to go and ask them. So before you would make excuses as to why you can't ask them, they're too busy, or they wouldn't want anything to do with me. That kind of thing goes from that to actually they're in it. There's no harm in asking, because you never know what could come from asking. So
right. So being this confident person, I'm moving on. We're going to use my career as an example.
Okay.
So moving on from one company to the next. There became a time I'm always being quite confident and I know exactly what I'm going to do. And there became a point in my career when another colleague was a bit nasty to me, and I kind of shoved it off, but it really hurt. That person was then promoted to my team, so I had to then work with that person all the time.
Yeah.
So it became quite hard to shift. And for me, the only way I felt to change my attitude and to change that negative vibe was to literally take myself out of that environment. How can somebody identify when it's time to move on?
Okay. Oh, so when it's time to move, I think whenever you don't feel that you can ever be yourself, so basically when you are not in alignment with who you are, that's when it's time to move on. So I think any time that you feel that you're out of sync, so I can't go to work and be myself, because if I am myself, then people are going to have an issue with it. Then I think that's when it's time to move on. That's when it's time to. But a lot of people want to stay in those environments, and I think, and almost try and fix the environment, but you need to be aware of the fact that sometimes you can't change people, so you have to decide, am I okay to be in this environment, or is it time for me to move on and do what I need to do next? Because it can be soul destroying to stay in an environment like that. And again, it goes back to then surrounding yourself with people that actually make you feel less than, as opposed to actually empowering you to be better.
Very good point you make there. Very good point you make there. One of the and the reason why I say it's a good point is because one of the things I had to get over while I was there was, like, I was looking for an alliance. I was looking for somebody to say, I understand how you feel, and I think the more I went looking for that was the worse it got.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking and talking and talking about it, I'm not letting it go. It was a continuous thing. I feel several times people have told me to tell this story. I haven't told the full story on this live, but I feel like there are, for me, especially Black women could be seen as angry Black women, just because they're upset or because somebody's done them wrong, and they don't know how to deal with that in the workplace. Do you have any gems or tips for those type of situations?
I think the first thing you have to do is learn how to save yourself, and a lot of people don't. Oh, somebody's just sent a question. Was that the person still? Oh, somebody B just sent a question.
Yeah, I read it. Was the person still mean? You can
Yeah.
you can finish your point and then we'll answer B's
Okay.
question.
So I think it's about yeah. So basically, what I think it is about it's about you learning to save yourself, and a lot of people are looking for other people to save them, and when that doesn't happen, it becomes a why me, why me, why me, why me. But what you have to remember is, again, if you're in an environment that's not working for you, those people are probably just as scared to be of confronting the bullies, if you will, as you are. So because of that, they're gonna just take the whole mentality of it's not my problem. And so because it's not their problem, they're not gonna align themselves with you, because also you are seen as the problem. So the
Right.
first thing I would say is figure out what you can do. And so if you need to go and speak to somebody senior or somebody in HR or a union or whatever it is, just figure out what steps of action you can actually take. The second thing is to really recognize what it is that you want. So a lot of people want change, but they don't know what change they actually want. So work out what it is it that you actually want from this situation. What is the outcome that you want? And then work out how you can achieve that, or get some sort of compromise where you're happy to still be in that situation. And I think the third thing is just recognizing what this situation is teaching you, because anytime we get uncomfortable, we're being taught something. So it's about learning, really tuning into that and saying, okay, what is the lesson here and how can I grow from it and be better after this situation is over?
Okay, so just to answer B's question, um, I would say it was more passive. It was quite a passive trauma. So it wouldn't be very vocal. It would be more like trying to take over my clients and directly replying to my clients when when she was only CC'd. And similar things like that, you know, like making little moves and knowing that you're gonna get upset. So it was more like that. I mean, after 1 and 2 days is fine, but 6 years of it was a bit much, you know. So,
Yeah. So what was the thing that kept you going in those 6 years that made you still have like a positive attitude?
so the thing that got me going, what that kept me going, was my talent.
Mm,
I was very good at what I did. I was responsible for over 700 customers,
mm-hmm,
and I loved them all, like, you know, and I knew how to deal with them as individuals. I learned a new skill, so I was really focused on continuing to be better at that.
mm-hmm,
And you're welcome, B. And also, I like to design, I like to create things, and I was doing a really good job in there of creating things, and my name was being recognized by a company. So those are the things that kept me there. But at the same time, the things that kept me there,
mm-hmm,
um, I at the point where I then felt comfortable, I then
mm-hmm.
let it go. I let it go. And one day, I decided to just forgive everybody. I just decided to forgive. And I wrote everything down on a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
and I went in the garden and watched it blow away with the wind.
Oh, you blew it away. You didn't even burn it. I would have burnt it.
Yeah, I may have burnt. I may not wanted to say I burnt it on I may not wanted to say I burnt it on live. So yeah, I burnt it and I watched it fly away with the wind.
Oh, cool. No,
Yes.
no, I know, no, but I think that's good. That's actually good, because a lot of people hold on to stuff that. So I remember Oprah once said, she made a really good point. She said that there was some woman, I think, and owed her money or something, or she was upset with her for something, and she held on to it for years and years and years and years. And then one day she was driving in her car, and when she was driving in the car, she saw this woman. This woman was chatting to another woman, and she was what was she doing? She just saw the woman was just living her life, and she was like, "There's me all being angry and upset with this woman, and this woman is just living her life."
It's just
So,
living her life.
so that's what you. So for me, that's what you have to do, and that's what it that's what it comes about, and that's what is so important, to believe that you can, because then you stop making it about somebody else having to fix it, somebody else having to make it better, and you do what you need to do to make it better for yourself. So if that's letting it go, you let it go. If that's changing your circumstances, you change your circumstances. Whatever it is, it's doing that so that you can go to your next level, because that's what's keeping you stuck, not them and their behavior, but you.
I believe you're right. I believe you're very much so right. And I believe in God, by the way. I believe in God.
So do I.
And at the time, I think it was even before I decided to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
It possibly was before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember coming into work one day, and the same person that was oppressing me
Mm-hmm.
had made a huge error, and now all the management is at my desk asking me to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Although they asked me to fix it, they wouldn't acknowledge that why the error was made, who the error was made by. So at that point, I obviously I helped clean the problem up, and I was then promoted, and then I moved on. So
Exactly, but that's how you've got to do it. It's like you have to know what you need to do for you. And I think as well, that's something that a lot of people don't do. They don't call out a problem often enough when it happens, so they just kind of they kind of take that on for themselves and make it their thing and their burden, as opposed to actually, it's not mine, it doesn't belong to me, and actually I can let it go and get on with the rest of my life. And so that's why I'm a real believer that once you change your mind, you change your life. So it really is. So going back to your earlier point, I would actually say, thinking about it, it probably is mindset. Because once you change, once you think a certain way, everything else changes, because you become very deliberate in how you move in order to make sure certain things happen for yourself.
I'm glad you reiterated that point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying, tidy house, tidy mind.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe sometimes you need to fix yourself from the inside in order to start working on the outside.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you reiterated.
No, I think that's true all the time. I think you have to fix yourself from the inside first, because that's there's a lady called Marianne Williamson, and she was I think somebody asked her that about being monsters, and she said the only monster she has is in her mind. And then and then somebody said to her, that's the worst place they could live, because if you had that mindset of the monster's out to get me, the monster's out to get me, the monster's out to get me, you're always in survival mode. And because you're in survival mode, you can never actually grow to be your best. And that's the most important thing you can do for yourself, is actually grow to become your best, so that you can then help others do the same. So I think it's so vital that your mind, that we really take care of our minds first, and from there everything else comes out of that.
Right. Thank you so much for this advice. It's really, really good advice. I know that you have a free guide to download.
Yes.
Did you want to tell them about your guide?
Yes, so it's called it's called the Release Your Mindset Blocks Guide, and it's the seven blocks that keep us stuck and overwhelmed and from living our best life. And you can download it at the nextlevelcoachinggroup.com/get started. So that's nextlevelcoachinggroup.com/get started. And we'll also, I'm sure that you'll like put the link in and all of that jazz.
Yeah, I'll sort it all out. I'll do all the digital content.
Wonderful.
All right. So what else can you tell us? So what have your experiences been leading up to? Let us know. We haven't gone through your story about how you got to Next Level Coaching. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay. So the beginning starts when I was 2. No, I'm joking. No, the beginning the beginning started really about, I'd say 2010, so about 10 years ago, really. And it started from the fact that I was turning 30. I was turning 30, and as I was turning 30, I realized that I was living my life for everybody else and not for myself, and it didn't make me happy. So I thought that if I just did what everybody else was doing, because that's what we're taught to do, I would be happy. And it didn't make me happy. And because it didn't make me happy, I then started seeking out different things. So as I started seeking out different things, I started going to different events. From the different events that I started going to, I then would meet people, and it just kind of grew out of that. And I thought that it would literally be a journey of a couple of years, and then I would be done. Here we are 10 years later. It's an ongoing journey. It's just continuous. It's lifelong. And from that, though, I realized I've always enjoyed helping people. So I was like, with this information that I have, it would be selfish just to keep it to myself. And now I'm in a position where I can, and I want to share it with other people so that they can be their best. Because when we're all our best, the world is just an amazing place. I think it's important that we're all our best, not just for ourselves, but also for each other. And so, yes, I was just in a place of just, for lack of a better term, being a follow fashion, and going from that to actually realizing who am I really, and becoming that and living in that essence so I could help others do the same.
That's really nice. I'm so glad. So when did you get to the point of actually building next level coaching? How did it start out?
Oh, it started out probably about in 2014, I want to say. I think, yeah, 2014, 2015, around about there. I literally was just reading up, like I said, reading up all these books on coaching. And I was coaching at the time, but more one-to-one, and doing young people at the time. So not really women at that time. And there was in the organization that I worked for, they had this thing where, oh, these questions come up again. They had this thing where they wanted us to present. So they wanted people to present throughout the week. And a lady who ran the scheme, if you will, said, yeah, would you mind doing it? And I was just like, okay. So I did it, and when I did it, it literally, I knew that was the change. I knew that something had to change in order for me to be able to do that. And then it just kind of led on from then. And then I started coaching women in groups. And then I started running my main course, which is called Time to Shine, which is a 1-day course, which really helps women from getting from where they are to what they want to be, and setting them up with an action plan so they can go away with something tangible as to take their next steps to become the best version of themselves. And so then from there, I then have been running workshops, and just just running workshops, helping out, just basically just really serving women in the best way possible so that they can grow and they can be their best. And so the way it works is I have a 2-hour free session called Stuck to Unstoppable. And that's really where they just figure out what's keeping them stuck. Then from there, we move on to the 1-day course, which is the core offering, which is Time to Shine. And then with Time to Shine, that's the 1-day course where it's them in a group, and then they talk about, a small group of women, they talk about where they are, how they want to be, and how they can move forward to the next level. And then the last thing is called Next Level Elite. And that's really for them to just come together as a 3-day retreat to just figure out what it is to figure out a blueprint for their next, I would say, 6 months to a year of their lives, so they can really, really not just move into the next level, but really see it flourish and figure out what really, really, really what they want their lives to look like. So yeah, so that's how that works.
Oh, thank you so much. This has been so enlightening. We must do it again.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to my message question. I have a question that I ask every guest.
Yeah.
What is your message that you're sending to the world?
Just love each other, and love you. I would say actually love yourself first, because when you love yourself first, you're in a better position to spread love and give love to others. So love first, and it will come back to you abundantly, to the nth degree, infinity times infinity times infinity. So love, that would be my message to the world. Let's love ourselves so we can love each other better.
Perfect. Let everybody know how they can, if they want, I mean, we're going to use this platform to try and promote your service as much as possible. I mean,
Okay.
it can be for you said it. You said you work with professionals, female
Yes.
professionals,
Yeah.
but can anybody contact you about joining one of your sessions?
Yeah, so if you would like to join one of the sessions, the best thing to do is go to the website. But the best place I would say to get started is to download the free guide, because then that kind of eases you in gently, because that's probably the best way to do it. So so download the free guide, and the free guide is like I said, nextlevelcoachinggroup.com/get started. But if you really want to dive in, then I also have the 2-hour free session that I run, and that's called Stuck to Unstoppable. And you can find that again at nextlevelcoachinggroup.com/stuck to unstoppable. So those are those probably the best ways to get in contact with me. Or obviously, please follow me on social. So my social for Instagram, as you probably can tell on it right now, group, and the social Next Level Lounge. So yeah, if you just follow me on those socials, and you can therefore, and then you'll know what I'm up to, and you can keep in touch, and we can keep the conversation going. And if you have any questions with regards to your own development and growth, just DM me. I'm happy to answer any questions. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you say you had a question pop up on your screen there?
Yeah, but I think it's B's question from earlier.
Ah, it's the same one.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think this was long enough. I didn't. If you haven't, is there anything you wanted to discuss or do before we go?
No, I'm not. I think this is good, because then this allows us to have another conversation. So we will definitely have another
Excellent.
conversation.
Definitely, definitely. So, yeah, from Next Level Coaching Group, thank you so much for being on Love Talk today.
Thank you
And
so much
thank
for
you for,
having me.
you're welcome. Thank you for your positive message of love, because you know that's what we spread over here. So, thank you all for logging in. Have a blessed day or the rest of your evening, depending on which part of the world you're in. And take care, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.